Chosen one, there is something burning within you right now, something so powerful that heaven itself trembles when you come close to discovering it. You've been searching everywhere else, in books, in people, in achievements, in validation, but what you desperately need has been residing inside you all along. This isn't another message. This is an awakening. A divine alarm clock set by the Father himself to jolt you from a spiritual slumber you didn't even know you were in. You are carrying something so valuable that demons flee at the mere thought of you activating it. Yet here you sit unaware, like a billionaire's heir living as a beggar, not knowing the inheritance papers are already in your pocket. Stay with me, chosen one, because what I'm about to reveal will shatter every limitation you've accepted as permanent. If your soul is stirring right now, if something deep within whispers finally, then heaven has orchestrated this exact moment for your breakthrough. Let me tell you what you don't see yet. While you've been fighting battles with human weapons, while you've been exhausting yourself trying to fix what feels broken, there's been a dormant power system inside you waiting for activation. Not metaphorically, literally. Acts 1:8 declares, "But you will receive power when the Holy Spirit comes upon you." That power isn't coming someday. It's already there. You've just been taught to ignore it, dismiss it, or worse, fear it. You know those moments when you felt different? When you walked into a room and the atmosphere shifted? When you spoke and even you were surprised by the authority in your voice? When you prayed and felt the temperature change? That wasn't coincidence. That was leakage. Power seeping through cracks in your doubt. Imagine what happens when the dam fully breaks. The enemy's greatest victory hasn't been making you fail. It's been keeping you ignorant of what you carry. Think about it. Why else would every attack aim at your confidence? Why would every betrayal target your identity? Why would every disappointment try to convince you that you're ordinary? Because hell knows something you're just beginning to grasp. You are a walking arsenal of heaven's authority. And the moment you realize it, their game is over. Ephesians 6:12 reminds us, "For we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this age." You've been shadowboxing with people when the real war is spiritual. You've been using natural solutions for supernatural problems. No wonder you're exhausted. No wonder nothing seems to work. You're fighting in the wrong dimension with the wrong weapons. But here's what changes today. The thing you need most, the thing that will shift everything, is already downloaded in your spirit. It's called divine authority. Not the kind you earn, the kind you were born with. The kind that makes sickness bow, poverty flee, and confusion dissolve. Jesus said in Luke 10:19, "Behold, I give you authority to trample on serpents and scorpions and over all the power of the enemy." That wasn't a promise. That was a declaration. Past tense. Already given. Already yours. You've been begging for what you already own. You've been asking permission to use what has your name on it. You've been waiting for someone else to validate what heaven already authorized. This is why nothing has felt sufficient. This is why every victory felt temporary. You were operating at 10% capacity, not knowing you had access to the full system. Let me paint the picture clearly. Remember Moses at the burning bush? He had the staff in his hand the whole time, but God had to tell him to throw it down before it became a serpent. The power was always there. He just didn't know to use it. Remember the widow with Elisha in 2 Kings 4? She had oil in her house while crying about debt. The provision was present. She just needed revelation to multiply it. This is you right now, holding dynamite while looking for matches. Your dreams feel impossible because you're calculating with human math. Your problems feel permanent because you're seeing with natural eyes. Your enemies feel powerful because you're measuring with earthly scales. But chosen one, you operate in a different realm. You function with different laws. 2 Corinthians 4:18 says, "We look not at things which are seen, but at things which are unseen. For the things which are seen are temporary, but the things which are unseen are eternal." What you need most isn't more money, though provision is coming. It isn't more connections, though divine appointments are scheduled. It isn't more time, though your days are being multiplied. What you need most is to wake up to who you really are. A supernatural being having a temporary human experience, armed with authority that makes hell nervous and heaven rejoice. This authority isn't loud. It doesn't need to announce itself. When you walk into chaos carrying peace, the chaos must bow. When you speak life into dead situations, resurrection becomes mandatory. When you decree breakthrough over blockages, the universe must comply. Not because you're special in yourself, but because you carry the DNA of the Most High. Romans 8:17 declares, "And if children, then heirs, heirs of God and joint heirs with Christ." Do you understand what joint heir means? It means what belongs to Christ belongs to you. His authority is your authority. His power is your power. His victory is your victory. You've been living like a servant in your own father's house. You've been apologizing for taking up space in your own inheritance. You've been shrinking when you should be expanding. The reason your prayers have felt weak isn't because God isn't listening. It's because you've been asking like a beggar instead of declaring like an heir. You've been requesting permission instead of exercising dominion. Matthew 7:7 says, "Ask and it will be given." But it also says in Mark 11:23, "Whoever says to this mountain, 'Be removed and be cast into the sea,' and does not doubt in his heart, but believes that those things he says will be done, he will have whatever he says." See the difference? One is petition, the other is position. You've mastered the asking. Now it's time to master the declaring. This is what you've been missing. This is what you need most. Not more faith, you have faith. Not more prayer, you pray. But the conscious awareness that when you speak, heaven backs you up. When you decree, angels mobilize. When you declare, the atmosphere must shift. But let me go deeper. This authority you carry isn't just for your breakthrough. It's for your bloodline. Every generational curse that has plagued your family stops with you. Every cycle of poverty, sickness, addiction, failure, it all ends in your generation. Why? Because you're the chosen one. You're the one heaven selected to stand in the gap, to break the chains, to rewrite the story. Exodus 25 speaks of iniquity visiting the third and fourth generation, but it also says in Deuteronomy 7:9 that God keeps covenant and mercy for 1,000 generations with those who love him. You are the pivot point. You are the game changer. You are the generation that says no more. And heaven responds with finally. This is why the attacks have been so intense. This is why the opposition has been so persistent. Hell knows that if you wake up to what you carry, not just your life changes, family trees get healed, destinies get restored, nations get shifted. You're not just breaking through for you. You're breaking through for everyone connected to your spiritual DNA. I need you to understand the urgency of this moment. While you've been distracted by temporary problems, there's been a spiritual clock ticking. Opportunities with expiration dates, doors with closing times, windows of favor that won't stay open forever. Ecclesiastes 3:1 reminds us, "To everything there is a season, and a time for every purpose under heaven." This is your season. This is your time. But seasons change. Times shift. What's available today might not be accessible tomorrow. The thing you need most, this divine authority, it's not just available. It's desperately needed. Right now, today, this moment. Your family needs you to step into it. Your purpose needs you to activate it. Your generation needs you to demonstrate it. Stop waiting for perfect conditions. Stop waiting for complete understanding. Stop waiting for fear to leave. Faith isn't the absence of fear. It's action in the presence of fear. Here's the practical truth. That situation that's been tormenting you, you have authority over it. That sickness trying to claim territory in your body, you have authority over it. That lack trying to establish itself as permanent, you have authority over it. That confusion trying to cloud your mind, you have authority over it. But authority unused is authority wasted. A police officer who never exercises their badge might as well be a civilian. A king who never issues decrees might as well be a peasant. So here's what changes today. You stop asking and start declaring. You stop begging and start decreeing. You stop accepting and start rejecting. When symptoms show up, you don't negotiate with them. You evict them. When lack knocks, you don't entertain it. You remind it that Philippians 4:19 says, "Your God supplies all your needs according to his riches in glory." When confusion comes, you don't wrestle with it. You declare that you have the mind of Christ according to 1 Corinthians 2:16. But this requires something from you. It requires you to believe what God says about you more than what circumstances scream at you. It requires you to trust the invisible more than the visible. It requires you to act on promise more than on evidence. This isn't positive thinking. This isn't mind over matter. This is spiritual law. This is kingdom protocol. This is how heaven operates through earth. The word of God in Proverbs 18:21 declares, "Death and life are in the power of the tongue." You've been speaking death without realizing it. Every time you said, "I can't," you were agreeing with limitation. Every time you said, "It's impossible," you were partnering with defeat. Every time you said, "I'm just trying to survive," you were rejecting abundance. Your words have been building prisons when they should be opening doors. From this moment, your vocabulary changes. Instead of "I can't afford it," you declare, "My God owns everything and I'm his child." Instead of "This sickness runs in my family," you declare, "By his stripes I am healed." Instead of "I'll never break free," you declare, "Who the Son sets free is free." Indeed, your mouth becomes a weapon of mass construction. Instead of mass destruction, listen carefully to what I'm about to say. The thing you need most isn't coming. It's here. It's not being prepared. It's ready. It's not waiting for the right time. This is the time. The authority you need to change everything is already resident within you. You don't need another prophet to activate it. You don't need another conference to receive it. You don't need another blessing to confirm it. You need to simply believe it and use it. This is why Jesus said in Mark 11:24, "Whatever things you ask when you pray, believe that you receive them, and you will have them." Not believe you will receive. Believe you receive. Present tense. Already done. Already yours. The shift happens in the believing, not in the seeing. The victory happens in the spiritual before it manifests in the natural. I can feel the resistance in some of you. But you don't understand my situation. But you don't know what I've been through. But you don't see what I'm facing. You're right. I don't, but I know who lives in you. I know what backs you. I know what authority you carry. And that authority doesn't diminish based on circumstances. It doesn't weaken based on opposition. It doesn't expire based on how long you've been struggling. David understood this. That's why a shepherd boy could face a giant. He didn't see Goliath's size. He saw God's sovereignty. He didn't calculate with human probability. He calculated with kingdom authority. "You come to me with sword and spear," he said in 1 Samuel 17:45, "but I come to you in the name of the Lord of hosts." That name is your authority. That name is your weapon. That name is what you need most. So stop scrolling, looking for another word. Stop searching for another sign. Stop waiting for another confirmation. This is it. This is your burning bush moment. This is your road to Damascus experience. This is your day of Pentecost. The power you need is already in you. The authority you require is already yours. The breakthrough you're believing for is already authorized. Take it. Use it. Walk in it. Declare with it. Decree through it. Demolish with it. Build with it. Heal with it. Prosper with it. Transform with it. Stop living beneath your birthright. Stop functioning below your privilege. Stop operating outside your authority. You are chosen. You are equipped. You are authorized. And hell is terrified that you're finally waking up to it. If this message is stirring something volcanic within you, don't let this moment pass. Comment, "I receive my authority" right now. Let that declaration shift the atmosphere. Share this message with someone who needs to discover what they're carrying. Subscribe to stay connected to Kingdom Revelations. But most importantly, leave this message different than you came. Leave knowing what you carry. Leave understanding your authority. Leave ready to use what you need most. The waiting is over, chosen one. The searching has ended. What you need most has been in you all along. Now use it. Heaven is watching. Hell is trembling, creation is waiting. Your moment is now.